Good evening. It is 1 o'clock in the morning. I just got back from my trip to Florida for the Pan Ams, which was fun, but it was an absolute nightmare when it comes to a few issues with Freedom, the service dog, and some jerk customer service. But that is not the point of this video. This point of the video, I've been asked a lot how to get sponsors, and I think it's very important that we should understand how to get sponsors. So how to get sponsors? Okay, so it's hard to break it down to how it happens, how it starts. But I remember probably a good seven years ago, I think I messaged Defense Soap. It was I started looking for sponsors when I started doing MMA, because I was only like a blue belt, purple belt, and I wasn't winning. I wasn't competing a lot in jiu-jitsu. I wasn't winning the worlds. I wasn't at Pan Ams. I didn't have a name for myself other than MMA, which was awesome because I did get some sponsors. I got a few sponsors back in the day, just clothing, apparel type stuff. They made my shirts, stuff like that. But how you have to go about it's different. So I would go on Instagram. Again, social media is huge. You get to see all these companies. Now, you don't go around and you just don't go say, hey, I'm this and this. Can I get some free shit? It doesn't work that way. It shouldn't. You got to think of it as a relationship, because you could be sponsored with these people for a while. It's what you could do for me and what I could do for you. It shouldn't be one-sided. And in my MMA days, I didn't have the sponsors that I do now, being a black belt and owning my school, competing, and just building more of a name for myself than when it was. Which can of body right here. I'm about to put some on my knee. I think I'm actually out on this bottle though. Yeah, so let me find some can of body. Alright, so I got some can of body. That's full. Can of Body's from Illinois. They're local. Good CBD. Helps with my injuries, and helps with my fingers, especially because my fingers are so jacked up. And just recovery from knee surgery and all that stuff. It helps. So the reason why I bring that up is because, again, you got to go with products that I go with products that I like. I don't go look at a product and be like, oh, okay, well, whatever. Let's see what they could do for me. No. So I would say when I had no idea what I was doing when I was looking for sponsors. No one got to tell me. So I got lucky with a few people that I knew that did some clothing during the MMA days. And then I got Defense Soap. That was like my first major sponsor. Not even like and you can't go into it thinking you're gonna get just paid by people, paid by sponsors. It doesn't work that way either. You gotta build a name for yourself, and you gotta be able to help out the other business. Um, I'm watching a YouTube video in the background and I see the sponsors on there. And it's crazy to see where, you're at and then where you could be at if you do things the right way. You shouldn't just expect free stuff. So once I landed Defense Soap, it was probably about 6-7 years ago, like I said earlier. They just sent me a care package of soap and body wash and this and that. I'm like, what the hell? This is crazy. I'm like, I felt bad. I was excited as hell. I was like, this is cool. Saves me money on gear. It saves me money on, I don't have to pay. And, being broke and stuff, buying bars of soap and all that adds up, body wash and all that crap. And so now I get it all from them. And they have paid me to compete. And they actually sponsor my YouTube now. And they pay me for my YouTube. And it all goes back to years and years of building that relationship before I could even, it was 6 years. And, they email me and they're like, man, you've been a great sponsor. You always talk up our soap. We see people buying soap. They say you recommended me, blah, 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 and that's the goal. I want to help people out. My closest sponsor is Top Mount Apparel. Man, I'm gonna talk to Al. I'm gonna watch this video, Al. So 4, 5, and Sunny. 4 or 5 years, maybe. I think it was right when I got my black belt. I don't know if it was because of Instagram and we were just messaging and I think I reached out to you guys. Maybe you reached out to me. I don't remember. I was just looking at the shirts. I was like, these are some cool ass shirts. I saw that they support police. That was the first shirts I got, the firefighter shirts and the police shirts. And I was like, okay, all right, cool. And so once I got my black belt, I started competing. I just jumped into these damn IBJJF tournaments, super fights. So, it's such a good opportunity to get these small businesses out there. Just because if you see a name on someone's shorts, you're like, what the hell is that? You might not care right then and there, but weeks down the road, you're going to be like, what was that company? You Google that company, bam, it pops up. And you're like, you know what? I need some soap. I need that shirt. I need rash guards. I need that. So, again, that's helping each other out. Now, Top Mount, we have been a family for a while now. And we built it up. They make my gis now. I think I was the first person they made gis for. And we went through a few things to make them IBJJF legal. It's crazy that we did all that stuff. And they asked for my input. And they yell at me because I don't ask for enough. I don't ask for stuff. They also sponsor one of my students, Joanna. They started sponsoring another one of my students, Anthony. And it's the work. They want to see the work ethic. If you're busting your ass on Instagram, Facebook, and the thing is, you got a lot of people that make fun of you. Oh God, you're always online, blah, blah, blah. You do that. Thing is, social media, that's how you get this stuff out there. I'm able to put them on blast in a good way. And I try to wear I love this shirt here. My taco shirt. I really, if people know me, they don't see me in regular clothes. I think and my grandma's funeral was the only time a few of my students see me in different clothes. And I did hang out a few times with my students, and they see me in jeans. So I'm usually in this stuff. You know, I love this stuff. I love jujitsu. I love the gear. I love MMA. I love kickboxing. You know, all of that stuff. So with Top Mount, I mean, they sponsor some models, fighters. They sponsor a UFC fighter. You know, and they work from the ground under, you know, and we've struggled together and we've had success together. You know, and they have been nothing but good to me. And I try to do what I can for them. And, you know, I all of my gear that I get for my gym is all from them. And the thing that blows me away is, you know, that when I started this YouTube channel, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know nothing about watch hours. I'd post a video once a week, and you know, it's just not enough. I mean, I'll do a video on that later on if you guys are. I know some people like want to try some YouTube channels. I know how to get there, and it's not easy. It's not easy, and it's not even close to where I want to be. It's not even close. But I am monetized finally, so that means I do get paid by YouTube and sponsors. Now, the crazy thing is, Top Mount even helped. They've paid for some of my tournaments and flying. Just unbelievable commitment that they've done to me, and I don't ask for stuff, and I think that's why they try to give me stuff at times. And again, I try to, you know, every single one of my students try to go online and they order stuff from them and use my code, and that's what I mean. We're a family. I just met up with them last Saturday at a tournament I got a few shirts, and then they gave me gis that they made for me, custom gis. And it's just good to hang out with the family there, you know, and they love jujitsu like I do. They train jujitsu, law enforcement too, you know. So we built that relationship, and we're still building it, and we're still gonna grow. I can't wait to see where we end up. Now they were the first ones to sponsor my YouTube that I didn't even think about getting sponsored for my YouTube. Now I got 4 sponsors for my YouTube. Athens, Greek Gyros, Richton Park, Constantine. I know that's not the best food to eat when we're cutting weight and stuff. But after you train 10 to 12 rounds, you want to get some gyros, you want to get some good food, head out to them. I mean, Constantine's going to take care of everybody. So one day we could all take a trip out there. So he helps me out on my YouTube. And the 2 newest sponsors, again, that I've had for a while are Defense Soap, like I mentioned earlier, that they got aboard, but I wouldn't have known to ask until Top Mount offered me, you know, stuff to get my YouTube going. And then Grip Slings, oh man, I've had Grip Slings for I think they were just getting started, probably 6 years ago. You know, and I put below the description, I put the links below. I put the links below. For one, if you guys buy the stuff and use my code, it does help me out, but it helps them out. It generates them. They see that you guys are buying it from me. That means I'm helping them out. But the thing is, you guys get discounts, and they really, every good sponsor that I have really do good, you know, they have good rates for my discount code is 20% off, 30% off. You know, there's sponsors and then there's ambassadors. I'm an ambassador for like Goalie Gummies, which I have to sell a certain amount. Which it's on my Instagram. You can check out their links on my Instagram. I'm not gonna put it on my YouTube because they don't sponsor my YouTube. So, you know, if you buy stuff like that, I do get a cut of it. But at the same time, you know, you're getting, I think it's 30-40% off with the Goalie Gummies, and they got some really good stuff actually. And then, like I said, the grip slings, it's in the description below. Right now, I think it's 30% off. Those things are killer. I know, you know, people, you could use your gis and stuff like that, but when you go to the gym, you use it for rows, you use it for weights, you put it on the cable rack. So it's not just pull-ups. You're doing a ton of stuff. You're doing, like I said, rows. You could do anything with them. I'm seeing the Warrior, you know, the Warrior training. If you go on Grip Sling on Instagram, you get to see the crazy stuff. People swinging from trees and jumping off the slings. It's pretty freaking wild. Yeah, sorry, I'm really, really tired. Been a long weekend. And I wanted to do this video for a while, but I didn't want to do it in the hotel. And then another sponsor I have is Rolga. It's the foam rollers. And what I did, I saw some foam rolling and I messaged him. I'm like, you know, I was asking about the product and stuff like that. I'm like, that's cool. I really, you know, it helped my leg, and it was right after surgery, so I had to roll out my quad, and I still do it daily. And they offered, they're like, hey, why don't we just give you a starter pack? Just shout us out on Instagram, and then we'll even give you a code. And if you sell some stuff, we'll see it, and we'll give you a cut of it. And I'm like, okay. I mean, it's like, again, it helps that I have a big following on Instagram. Like if you have like 200 followers or 1,000 followers, they're probably not gonna look at that right away. And it's just because it takes time to build, so they want to see that you're committed to it. They don't want to see that, you know, they want to see that they're using the product. And I try so hard to put me using all the products. And I know it's annoying for people too, but sometimes in that day, they wake up and they see a post and they're like, you know what? I need Canabody that day. I could use a Rolga that day. I'll roll out my lower back. Let's try it. You know, and that's the whole goal of it. You know, and I haven't met them once, but they were really cool people. And, you know, I didn't just message and be like, hey, can I send me a foam roller, please? No. I had a tape company that they did go under. I'm currently looking for another one, but I did remember asking for some samples before, and they gave me some samples. I liked them, and then I bought rolls. I bought rolls for a while, and then they just started giving me rolls. You know, it sucks they went under COVID. COVID hurt them. It sucks, but you know, it is what it is. But I care about them as a business, not because I don't have a sponsored tape company, because I do have a bunch of tape left over still. Another good one that how did I get them? Impact mouth guards. It's a good one, and I think a lot of it has to do with being a gym owner as well, because they know I'm going to be able to sell some. And at first, they were just sending me kits. They gave me like 10% off, which, you know, it's something. It's something. You know, they're making money off of it. And then this year, they decided, they're like, hey, you know what? We're gonna make a link for you now, so people all over, instead of just your students, could buy the mouth guards on the website, and they get it shipped right to them, but they use my code and they get like 30% off these mouth guards. Best mouth guards I've used. My students love them. You know, it's the custom molded one. I had custom molded ones before. I just like these better. They give you more molding opportunities too, and the fit is just amazing because even if it's a single or a double, the double doesn't kill the breathing for MMA, and the single for like jiu-jitsu, you got to rip it out of your mouth because it fits so good. And I messaged them. I was like, hey, I'm looking for some mouth guards, and I purchased a mouth guard. But then again, they seen, and you know, I'm like, hey, I'm competing. I'm going to Master Worlds in a month. I'm gonna put all your, and I always ask for patches. I ask for patches and stickers. I'm like, look, I want to put you guys on my websites. I want to put you guys on my social media, but I want to put you guys on my gi. Even though I look like a NASCAR driver, a lot of people look like NASCAR drivers with all the sponsors out there. And honestly, that's the one thing I hate about the UFC is how they ruin so many sponsors just to get more money for them and their sponsors. That's crappy because it killed a lot of the smaller markets, and at least in the UFC game. I know other MMA companies don't give a damn, and that's how it should be. It shouldn't be a monopoly like that, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, so you just gotta you gotta be friendly with them. You gotta keep in touch with them. I don't like when they don't keep in touch with me. You know, I'll say, hey, how you guys doing? And all my sponsors message me after my tournaments. They ask how I'm doing. They'll repost my stuff. You know, it's been, I have some, you know, I'm looking around my house. I see Defense Soap. I see Top Mount. I see Cannabody, Orgain Protein even. For the first time purchase. It's kind of like that's more of an ambassador because we're not like a family. It's different because that's a bigger business, but I do get paid if people buy some stuff. And again, it's reputation, and I bought some of their shakes for a few months, and then I finally asked them like, hey, would you be, could we get kind of like a code so I can maybe start selling it, put it on my gis, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, sure, let's give it a whirl. So it's cool. I've had some issues too, where the companies were kind of jack butts, where they're just kind of rude about stuff. And that's fine. You're gonna deal with that. And that's somebody you don't want to be partnered with probably, or want to rep their brands anyway. Like I said, I know I mentioned Top Mount, but I love Al. I train with Al. I talk to Al daily. I've bitched at Al. I've complained to him about business stuff, and vice versa. But we're always there for each other, and Sonny and all of them. And Cannabody, I'm close with him. He just Defense Soap again, Guy, that's his name. They send me this stuff so quick. But I really try not to ask for stuff. I feel bad. But I have gotten enough Wavos to ask about my YouTube. So yes, I have 4 sponsors now for my YouTube, and I'm proud of that. But also how to go about it real quick. I tried to list, I think I listed most of my sponsors, and kind of how I went about it with them. But that's the thing. If you want to be sponsored, you got to bust your ass. You gotta show that you have work ethic. You got to take good pictures. You can't go back and forth with 50 companies. You got to try to be as loyal as you can. Some have contracts, some some don't. But, you know, you got to build yourself up. Fight, 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 fight. Compete, 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 compete. If you are young and you have the time. It was tough for me to get sponsors when I was working at Comcast because I was always working. When I was fighting, I took off days of work and I had to take vacation days. But that's a whole different ballgame. So it wasn't the same. Now that I'm able to compete a lot, or at least, and I have my students wear their patches too, even if they're not sponsored by them, because I want to. Why not? They're giving me stuff, so I'm gonna put them on blast so people could see them more. You know, and eventually they'll be sponsored by them. Like Joanna got sponsored. I mean, she competes all over. She competes Pan Ams, the Worlds, Nationals. It's insane. She still wants to do MMA. And then we have Tyler. You know, he already has a lot of sponsors already, and he's just getting started, and he's just still an amateur and a purple belt. He's got such a bright future ahead of him with stuff, and hopefully he's doing it the right way, and I believe he is. And that's the thing is the building the relationships. Again, I can't say that enough. I can't explain building yourself enough. And you gotta, you know, you don't have to compete. Not everybody's looking for that, but a lot of people are gonna see that you have a huge edge if you are competing. They want to see it. That's how you get the name out there. Having a school is another thing, though. That's being a trainer. That's when you could start giving everything to everybody, and they could see it. You know, you got to keep on promoting. I'm still trying to get some restaurants and stuff like that. That's a little tougher. Because you gotta be able to have time, and you gotta go with your whole crew, and how you're gonna help out them a lot, like the restaurant or bars and stuff like that. So I'm working on it. It's not a huge priority for me because I care more. I'm on the YouTube all the time. I have to train my students and stuff, so it's hard for me to ask a lot of people for sponsors now. And I'm pretty sponsored up to where I'm happy with. I would like to have a good supplement company, but you know, a lot of the huge supplement companies, the sponsors, they sponsor bodybuilding professional lifters. They're gonna do professional fighters, big professional fighters. So that it's tough. The get the land, the huge sponsors. You know, you gotta get out there. You gotta get your ass out there, and you gotta work. I'm blessed to have the people that are in my circle, and again, I worked hard, and it should always be about that, is taking care of it for each other. So hopefully this video helps you a little bit. I explain my sponsors and what I do, so you guys can even look what I do on my Instagram, how I put the name, how I put all my codes in there on the description and in the hashtags. On my YouTube, you'll see in the description. You know, like I said, I hope this helps you out, because I've been asked a lot. And I've been asked by a few of my students. And that's how you do it. Work hard, promote yourself, show that you are dedicated, show that you aren't horribly negative constantly, because you gotta have positivity. You can't. People aren't gonna want you if you're just, you hate life, you hate this, you hate that. Yeah, I get it. Stuff's gonna happen. I hate a lot what's going on in this country right now too. You know, and there's some stuff that I will say and go about, but I don't focus on that. You know, there's a time and place for that, but you know, even if my sponsors agree with me, that they don't really need to be seeing all that stuff. And that's another key thing. So if you post nothing but right wing, leftist stuff every day, where you're completely like bashing people, they're not going to want to see that. But at the same time, you know, you gotta speak up for what you agree with. But I'm just telling you how it is, how it's got to be. I had to clean up a lot of stuff before I started looking at it. When I was getting sponsors, I couldn't be posting half the crazy stuff I posted on Facebook, especially when I worked for Comcast. Even though it was funny as hell. People that know me, probably not a lot of people on my YouTube knew me from Comcast, but I would do some funny videos. It's just horrible stuff. But yeah, so work hard, get some sponsors, but train hard, win. You gotta win. Win. Yes, it's pressure. Sometimes it's gonna be pressure. You gotta have pressure put on you. Do my sponsors give a damn that I win? No. But to get me to get these sponsors, I had to start winning. I had to be seen at black belt. I had to compete, competing against the JL Meow 3 times. It's cool as hell. That's a world champion, and people want to see that. People will go back in those videos. They want to see that I had it to get out there, and I was in there, and I belonged in there. And that's the whole goal. That's the whole goal. But building the relationship is key. Finding the people, knowing the people, understanding that they're good-hearted people, and you'll go far places with it. I know it's a little longer of a video, but I mean, we could go on long about how to get sponsors. But yeah, if you have any questions, if I didn't cover something, if I missed something, again, I'm freaking tired. I'm sure I missed something, but put it in the comments below. Ask me a question, and I could get you in contact with any of my sponsors, and just keep grinding, guys and gals. And that's about it. So yeah, leave comments in the description. Ask me questions. You guys know where to find me. Thanks for listening as usual. You guys are the best.